What's up, eggnog?
My what? That didn't age well. What up? It is I, your proverbial boy, Jeffy, back again with Season 1, Episode 5 of Californication. The Californication train keeps rolling. It's just me today. I'm not joined by my son. He's at school, so let's check it out.
The gay priest!
LOL.
What was it? LOL? Laugh out loud? Like that's part of your lexicon, really? LOL?
Shouldn't it be part of yours too? You are writing for cyberspace, you know.
Oh, and there goes my boner.
You're gonna let the fact that I just said LOL get in the way of me giving you the best BJ of your life?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the term BJ either.
We haven't had sex since my last period. You know how f***ing horny I get. You can have the ass if you want.
You can keep it.
B to the I to the double L. What's up, my eggnog?
I need to talk.
My what? That didn't age well.
This is about Mia. You're aware she's in high school, correct?
Oh, shit, Bill. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry, and it should have never happened, but nobody's to blame, really. I mean, I'm glad, in a way, that you're here, you know, so we can get on the same page, all right, man?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about? It depends. What are you talking about?
Are you stoned? Or I gotta ask you a favor. I was supposed to be the guest speaker at Mia's school today, but I have to go out of town. Well, I was hoping that you might consider stepping in for me. It's a creative writing class.
What's in it for me?
What do you want?
That's a nice jacket. If you can do anything else, telemarketing, pharmaceutical sales, suggest that you do that, because being a writer blows. It's like having homework every day for the rest of your life. Any more questions?
Are you single?
Of course I am. Who would have me?
I would. I'm sorry.
Cigarette break, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.
You're a fucking rock star.
Please, it's an all-girls school. Anything with half a cock and one ball is gonna get a rise out of these kids.
Best job I ever had.
They're very young.
Oh, dude, it's Bill Ponderosa from Always Sunny.
Take an aspirin.
That ain't aspirin.
It ain't aspirin. Someone's dying today, baby.
No, Pondy! No!
Jesus, son.
Playing what appears to be his typecast role as some kind of weird creep. Like, in fact, this very well may be Bill Ponderosa. My favorite episode featuring Bill Ponderosa was probably the one where he goes to the McPoyle wedding and doses the milk bowl with bath salts, I believe, causing everyone to behave in a zombie-like fashion. But anyway, all right, Pondy's in the house.
Laugh it up funny, man, but you could go to jail for that shit, you know?
Promote an appreciation of great writing.
Just fuck the ones who are bored and stupid enough to spread them for you.
I'm here with Hank Moody, author of South of Heaven, Seasons in the Abyss, and most famously, God Hates Us All.
Wait a minute. Those are Slayer album titles. Wow, okay. If you're not familiar with the band Slayer, it makes for great gym listening. My personal favorite songs include Angel of Death, which is about Dr. Joseph Mengele, who conducted horrifying experiments. Also Silent Scream, which is my favorite song about abortion. And then, of course, South of Heaven, which that would be the introductory music that I would play if I was a LARPer. And I would insist that when I enter the field of play, that this song be blasted at top volume. My LARPing character was named Lord Sir Beastkins Demorrowild, level 12 wizard mage, specializing in necromancy. So, okay, Slayer. And then, by the way, here, the radio host is, of course, Henry Rollins, the frontman for the seminal punk band Black Flag. Now, if you get anything out of this video today, it would be to check out Henry Rollins' book, Get in the Van, which, you know, I drive a van, so it's kind of a funny coincidence, but it's actually a collection of journals of his time traveling with Black Flag, I believe from 1981 to 1986. This is a guy with an absolutely insane work ethic, to the point where he like alienates his friends and associates. Now, the book, however, I found to be extremely valuable, and I think he won a Grammy for the audiobook version of Get in the Van. The story is like this. He was really, he grew up in Washington, D.C., and he was really involved with the local punk scene. And he was like a roadie for various bands. He had seen Black Flag play, and it was kind of like a relatively small scene. So he became on good, friendly terms with some people in the band. In fact, at one show, he had to take a bus, I forget from where, but like all the way back to his hometown, back to DC, to clock in for work. So he requested that they play the song Clockin' In. And I believe that they let him sing the lyrics, sing the vocals on that track. And then subsequently, they needed a new singer. So they asked him, yo, come on tour with us. And he was working at like Dairy Queen or Haagen-Dazs, some ice cream shop. And he decided, do I want to do this? And he made the leap. He made the decision. He's like, I'm just going to quit my job, and I'm going to start traveling around the country with this punk rock band as the lead singer. And it details his time on the road and how difficult it was, basically, shacking up at random houses that would have them, constantly getting assaulted by the police, assaulted by members of the crowd, assaulted by skinheads and stuff like that. And then he describes traveling through Europe. And one thing that really struck me and sort of resonated with me personally, as somebody who's traveled the world multiple times on multiple world tours over the past 20 years, is this sense of wanting to get back home when you're on the road and you're living in these sort of difficult conditions, on a floor somewhere or some crappy motel or something like that. But then when you get home, almost immediately being struck with the desire to venture back out again. So in the kind of struggle between those two feelings. He also describes this sense of growing alienation between him and the fans, and a growing sense of alienation between him and the band. Actually, an absolutely fascinating read. So I believe that you can actually listen to it for free on YouTube. So after this, pop over and type in Get in the Van, and you can hear, I believe, the spoken word version of it. But yeah, absolutely fascinating. So this guy, it's cool that they got him as this radio host.
People seem to be getting dumber and dumber. The internet was supposed to set us free, democratize us, but people, they don't write anymore. They blog. Instead of talking, they text. No punctuation, no grammar, LOL this and LMFAO that. Just a bunch of stupid people pseudo-communicating with a bunch of other stupid people in a proto-language that resembles more what cavemen used to speak than the King's English.
So this is kind of interesting because the show came out in 2007, and here he's railing against the internet and how it's stupefying our society. But the hill he's kind of choosing to die on here is the language issue, how it's kind of bastardizing the language with these acronyms and abbreviations, LOL and so forth. And he does have a point, but it's kind of, again, somewhat interesting how we were just beginning to see the rise of social media. I think Facebook came out in what, 2006 or something like that. So it was very nascent. It had just been birthed. We had yet to see it bear its awful fruit in terms of the effect on our culture, the effect on our society. And I think that, quite frankly, we still haven't seen the worst of it yet, right? And at the time, who could imagine that LOL would probably be the least of the problems created by the internet. It's one of these things where we're not evolved enough to even understand the changes that the internet has wrought on our brains and how we perceive things and how we interact as a society. I mean, there's so many issues, obviously. We're probably preaching to the choir if you're watching this. Of course, there's the privacy issues, selling your information, the divisive echo chamber effect that it's causing, not to mention what it's doing to our attention span. I mean, myself included. I deleted TikTok recently because I felt it was like messing up my brain chemistry. A TikTok has a fraction of a second to capture my attention, or else I would swipe up. And I'm like, yo, this is making me have the attention span of a gnat. I feel that this is detrimental to my well-being and my ability to function cognitively in an effective way. Anytime that some revolutionary technology has been introduced, we always look at the upside of it. We always look at the potential benefits that it could have for society. And very rarely do we think about, or could even conceive of, quite frankly, the law of unintended consequences. So initially, when the internet came out and social media and YouTube and things like that came out, anyone could produce content. It opened up. It took away from the monopoly of television and you know the entertainment industry for people to have a voice. Social media was created to give us more freedom of speech, but look what happened. What did it do? We now have the lowest amount of free speech that we've ever had in history. In history. Because it made corporate control over speech. If only Hank could be alive today. I mean, we'll see if he survives to the end of the series. But Hank certainly probably would not like the ensuing 15 years of internet.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Found a redhead wandering the parking lot.
Sorry I'm late. Stuck in traffic. Listening to the radio. Very entertaining. LOL. So have you been telling her what an airhead your new girlfriend is?
No, I was just about to.
I heard the interview, Hank. So is this why his relationships don't last? Because the girls can't live up to some ridiculous fucking gold standard? You drink too much, write too little, and the only exercise you get is in the bedroom. You love women, but you hate yourself, so that any woman who actually really does like you is ultimately deemed a fool. This one is saying goodbye. BRB, Hank.
Hey, you know, it's not fair to say BRB and then never actually BRB.
I wanted to give you this.
Oh
shit. So you're gonna blow this whole thing over my issues with the language of cyberspace?
He left his wife.
Oh, that's what this is about.
In a way, I have you to thank. You really did rattle his cage.
I just feel so used.
Shut up. We were using each other, Hank.
Okay.
Rationalization.
I think I'd just feel better about this whole thing if I didn't think you were re-entering this hopelessly dysfunctional relationship with an aggressively mediocre white guy. I've spent...
This from someone who's still hopelessly in love with his ex. Whatever.
Well, at least she's cool.
We just missed it, Hank. In another lifetime, we would have been a scorching couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's just not, the stars aren't aligned and you got to suck it up. And I've had a few relationships like that where if circumstances were different and we were at different places in our lives, it would have worked out, but it just wasn't in the cards. I mean, and you know, I guess that's life, and you can get all depressed about it, and I do. And when that happens, I mean, you got to get a little bit depressed. But one thing I love about Moody, at least, hey, that's a rare thing for me to say, right? One thing I love about Moody is even when he's getting beat up like this, kind of emotionally, he always rolls with the punches. He's never butthurt. He's never angry per se. Like he's always kind of like cool. You know, he always has he keeps it light. He keeps it funny. He'll have a quip to try to fix it. And he's somewhat persistent about like, okay, let's see if this is salvageable. If I throw in some quips and I keep my cool. I think that's one of the biggest lessons of Moody is like, even in the midst of adversity, you kind of keep your cool and you stay a little bit above the fray, right? You're like, that's life, but hey, da-da-da-da-da, you know, little quip, try to recover it. Again, never butthurt, never angry.
Best of luck in all your future endeavors, and try not to forget all the times I brought you to fruition. It's 33 to be exact. Married guy goes back to his wife, which he will. I hope that you come try to find me.
Face down in a puddle of your own sick. Still not writing.
LOL. LO fucking L.
Yeah. Well, not a particularly eventful episode, in my opinion, here in terms of giving us insight into what makes Moody tick. I'd say the biggest takeaways are, again, always roll with the punches, stay above the fray, never butthurt, never angry, because that's how you keep the door open for more. Like the moment that you lose your cool and start to get all, again, butthurt, that's when you've overplayed your hand. Additionally, I'd say the other big takeaway from this would be go check out that that Henry Rollins book, Get in the Van. Actually, one of my favorite books, just because I have a personal connection with the material. It's very fascinating and interesting look at what it's like to be in the, that early punk scene, traveling on the road. And then, of course, delete TikTok. And you'll probably do yourself a lot of good just by getting rid of that. So this has been Jeffy, and hopefully the next episode will bring us some more crazy adventures of Hank Moody.
Jeffy.